It's really lovely to be here with you all, and I'm actually glad I got to hear your reflections just now, too. Some of the things that really stood out for me is just that we're not alone, and there's something super important about prioritizing and making that time to be together in space, physically together. I know I'm really glad to be able to be here physically in this room with you all. And I'm here because what you do matters. So for the communities and the members that you serve and that you care for your families, for the teams that you lead, the staff that you mentor, and especially given how much rupture and change and disruption that we're all navigating together with cuts to promised money, with an explosion of disruptive technologies like AI, widening gaps in access and opportunity, we're navigating a moment right now where the very tools that are meant to connect us are being used to divide us. When digital access, the thing that we're all striving to expand, is being undermined by fear, polarization, scarcity, you're holding the breach. You're doing that every day. Helping families stay connected, bridging the digital divide, keeping learning alive, even despite and in the face of these budget cuts. But it's actually not just what you do that matters. You matter. I'm actually speaking to you as fellow human beings in this room, not just as leaders of organizations, not just as community advocates or program leaders figuring out how to adapt and shift and be resilient in the face of everything that I just described. It's actually important that we all kind of just sit with that idea, like really take that in. You matter. And there's nothing that you need to do to prove or deserve that feeling of mattering. We live in a world and in a culture that makes us feel so small, so powerless, so inadequate, like we're just cogs in a machine. We're just consumers of media systems and products that profit off of our attention and addiction. We're just pawns of conflict entrepreneurs who flood our nervous systems and make us feel full of fear and hatred of each other. We're just workers plugged into economic engines that weren't actually designed for us to thrive. And we're constituents of a democracy, whether we're citizens or not, that has seriously let us down and that desperately needs us to believe in it and renew our faith in it. But the thing is, we're more powerful than we think. So what is power? It's a sense of agency. It's found in our ability to choose, to shape opportunities, to transform situations, to resist, to dream, to adapt, to bend but not to yield. And where does power come from? So I am the leader of the Samuel Fels Fund, which is investing in Philadelphia's movement-building ecosystem. So we support an interconnected network of Philadelphia's brave and brilliant grassroots leaders, artists, community organizers, social justice warriors, and healers who are working together to protect the dignity and the humanity of our most vulnerable and marginalized neighbors. And actually, I've spent the past decade within philanthropy, and I've probably myself invested about $200 million into social justice movements, not my money, other people's money, into racial and economic equity across the country. And I used to run a leadership institute that was training community advocates to sit on local and regional boards and commissions so that they could build power and move and change systems from the inside. I've mentored and coached about probably a couple thousand leaders across communities and campuses, organizations, from young people in Haiti to India to returning veterans in the Midwest to young people who were leaving gangs and taking their first jobs in the Bronx. And across all these contexts, from Port-au-Prince to the Bronx to right here in Philadelphia, I've seen the same thing. That when people remember what matters most and move together, power regenerates. So you might think that now I'm going to start inspiring you all to get into community organizing and power mapping and mobilize on the streets or maybe go to City Hall. You might think I'll advise you to wield narrative power, to cut through the noise that makes us think we're so small and afraid, and counter it with humanizing stories of the communities that we serve. To elevate voices that uplift the spirit and make us bolder and more courageous. You might think I'll ask you to partner with each other and in profound and transformational ways, because doing things together make us all better. Do all of that. But everything I described is actually about channeling power, about moving power around, wielding it, directing it. We're talking about power as money, access, policy, influence, and all of that matters. But those forms of power begin somewhere deeper. Our power comes from being itself, from being present with what is right now, and then acting. From seeing clearly and moving from our center, not reacting out of fear or a sense of scarcity. It comes from a sense of sovereignty, self-possession, self-knowledge, and then action. You know, a lot of times we think about things like tuning into ourselves, slowing down, resting, as this thing that we're gonna do later. Like, I'm gonna fix all the world's problems, and then I'll chill. But there's actually a relationship between this kind of deep, deep rest, self-observation, that actually gives us the courage, it gives us the strength to go, build, do. It's like a continuous cycle. Action, healing, right? It's like, just think about, that's how stamina is built over time. Right? We live in this culture that tells us, go, do, never stop. Your only value is in what you do. No, your value is in just being, and there's nothing that we have to do to earn it or deserve it. And just allowing ourselves that time and that space. This was literally just a few minutes. It can literally just be going out, looking at the trees for a few minutes every day. You're allowed to do it. You don't need to ask anybody's permission to do it. And that is also a key to our resilience right now, right? And that's something that lays in our own hands. Yeah, so I invite you to take that with you, right? Take that invitation, right, with you. So I'm gonna close with a quote actually from my spiritual teacher, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. There's a song deep inside you. You were born to sing a song, and you're preparing. You're on a stage holding a mic, but you're forgetting to sing. You're keeping silent. Till that time, you will be restless until you can sing that song, which you have come on the stage to sing. It doesn't matter if you feel a little out of tune for a minute or two. Go ahead, sing. You can't restrain the human spirit. It is indomitable. It is power itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Uma. Incredibly powerful. And I think great reminders to care for ourselves as we are caring for others in truly unprecedented times. I want to thank you all for joining us today. Sadly, we've come to the end of what we've got planned for you today. But I want to just take a moment and again, thank the planning committee. If you're on the planning committee, please raise your hand. Thank you for making this possible. I want to thank the TLC board. Raise your hand. Big clap. David Cooper Moore and Andy, thank you very much for all the work that you do. And last but not least, our fearless leader who day in and day out dedicates herself to this work. Thank you, Kate, for your leadership, for your partnership. None of this is possible without your dedication, so thank you. I'm thanking some sponsors too for making that happen somewhere. Nope, all right. And last but not least, please, on your way out, we've got more opportunities for reflection. We've got tote bags. But more importantly, this is not the end of how we invite you to partner with us. So please, take our event survey. Let us know what this experience was like for you. Let us know what else you'd like to see. And hopefully we'll see lots of you in the year to come. Thanks again.